of the process of the wisdom process is that if you is not to see things repeat. See, now most people are too young to see things repeat. Under normal circumstances, with people that live normal lifespans of 70, 80, might see some of the things repeat because they go through the parent stage where they haven't seen anything repeat, so they really don't know if what they're doing is right or wrong. Then they go through the grandparent stage where they may glean some truth out of the repeat stage. It won't be a lot, but like the great grandparents, when their great grandchildren have kids, they'll start to see more, they'll start to realize something, but it may not even be enough then, because there's people that just are so self-absorbed, they're not into other people, they're into themselves and what they do. You make yourself happy, but they don't know how to do it. They don't know where the real joy is. So it may take 100, 150 years, 200 years, but it would have been things that Adam and Eve would have seen. Because they had a nice long lifespan, they could have seen the repeating processes enough that whammo, it occurs to them that the personality is transferred like the human form is transferred, from father to son or daughter, family member down the generations. And then if you're alive long enough after that, then you'll see the decision-making processes. It's either that or you have to specialize in a few things that do the shortcuts for you. One of them is prayer, seeing what God does. The other one is interaction between people, and to the point where you see the repeats. And usually what causes the repeat scenario is torture. I can't say it in any other way, because it brings out I'm not saying that it's anything that you should try. Just the natural processes of being alive, and that pin that everybody carries around with them, that they believe that you can't feel their pain, so they're going to poke you with their pin so that you will feel some of their pain. That natural process, that's the life process, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, makes that come about. It's just a really slow process, unless you know people that go overboard because they don't think you're going to be able to do anything about your situation. And sometimes people, that's what they want. They want to get you in a situation where they believe you can't do nothing, and then they can do whatever they want. And I'm sure that's part of the process that Jesus Christ went through, because you have all the elements there that they believe they had him in a place where he couldn't do anything. And then they got out their little pins and needles and started poking him, so that he could feel their pain. It's not literal, but that's the way it is in real life. And you can view life that everybody's great or whatever. Yeah, sure. If they're in their own little thing, making themselves happy and stuff, and they're not, one of the poor people that are going to torture you because they're handicapped. And I'm not saying that to be argumentative about certain kinds of people. I'm not saying it to cause any problems with it. But, if you have somebody that's handicapped and you're around them and you don't understand their pain, they are going to treat you accordingly. They're not only going to use their pain as a crutch to get away with whatever they can get away with, whether it's trying to get away with not paying the bus token or the train token, or you're in their way, they deserve $1 from you, whatever the case may be, is because you don't understand their pain. You're probably going to be a worthless dog to them because they're important and you're not. It's coming from their lifestyle. Where they need. And if they don't get it, they're suffering the more. See? And they're looking at you and society to provide them with everything that they need, and if they don't get it, then you get a poke. And if you get them together in numbers, it's all the worse. So the mindset of the being taken care of is a different kind of mindset than the people that take care of them. And we're not supposed to do all the taking care of, but only provide a means that they can take care of themselves. Because once they get into that mindset where they need, they'll never take care of themselves. And even though they're very dysfunctional. Whether that's over drugs or what, because drugs can handicap somebody just as well as a car accident can. But it's overcoming that so that you can take care of yourself is the challenge. Because if you can't work harder, you have to work smarter. That's just all there is to it. But in that needy process, Christ looking out over the cross and seeing all those people that couldn't understand, if they wanted to, what Christ was or how the spirit of things worked. Because those people did not accomplish that. It wasn't what they did. It wasn't what they choose to be. So they didn't go after their salvation. And how sad that Christ has to look over everybody that he knows isn't going to make it. Or have, I should say, a high risk factor of not making it. because there are certain rules that apply, and if you have to rely on other people to save you, then you better hope there's a whole lot of love there in the family. But like Dave, he got treated so terribly, and he's trying so hard to get what he needs, and the crutch issue was just too much for him alone. But it was when he went to be by himself, after trying so hard, because part of the arguing factors in marriage is mostly in staying together. It's in misunderstanding the interpretation of words between wife and husband. It's not only that, but it's in what a person has decided they wanted and how they want it. That can be enough difference there to really cause a lot of problems. And but Dave was getting treated so bad that it dawned on him that about love, that there's no way she could have known who he was. Because if she knew who he was, she would definitely know he wasn't that bad. I mean, he's probably one of the better people in the world. But he had to have this happen to him to realize that she wasn't the same as he was. And then the whole thing imploded, where he understands the concept that Christ went through, that people tend to choose their own path, not necessarily going in the same direction. So, and if she didn't know him, then she wasn't like him at all. Which is a shame. It was a shame. It was a shame for Christ to have to see that, and it was a shame for Dave to have to see that. But if you understand the prayers and the concepts of the Spirit, those things are going to be remanifested over and over and over. The Word of God is going to be manifested within your life. And it's a pretty hard concept to grasp, that to actually know somebody that has the Bible play out in their life like that. But the concepts are the same for Christ as is for anybody. Christ was one of us. And though he will rule the world in the end, so will all of those equal opportunity to do the same thing. Everybody does. It's not just Christ. It's all those that want to be Christ-like. So we will inherit this world, and the others won't. And I thought I'd give you these concepts of prayer and what to look for in the Bible that, they would have prayed for. And that's what this whole video series is about. The thoughts that people would have to have in order to accomplish those kinds of things. it's not just exclusive to those people and the plan of salvation. It's because of the plan of salvation. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video on spiritual matters and secrets of prayer. These are not easy things to talk about, but they are great, great secrets. People don't realize there's different kinds of people out there, and you have to understand that there are different kinds of people out there, and those kind of people still exist, still to this day exist, and you can't tell who they are by looking at them, because you can't judge a book by its cover or how deep the water is. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.